Hello, everyone. So the topic for the video today is all about money, money, money. And I am a fan of ABBA actually. And their song "Money, Money, Money," must be funny in a rich man's world. And really that line from the lyrics, it must be funny in a rich man's world. Um, Many of us will relate to that. It's unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar to be in a life of abundance and having more than enough, a rich man's world. Now, today we're going to explore why this is particularly unfamiliar for those who have come from dysfunctional, generally narcissistic family systems. So let's explore money a little bit to start with. I mean, to be given money um, is often a sense of sort of being blessed by somebody, um, a feeling of flourishing, of being loved, of freedom and independence. And they say that money flows, it flows between people like a river almost, it ebbs and flows, but it's not that it gets depleted and on one end. It's more like there's a wonderful sort of balance that happens. It's sort of like a give and a receive type flow, um, and it's meant to be a win-win situation. You use it to bless others, but then also you're blessed in return. However, as you will know, when one or both of your parents is narcissistic, the last thing on earth they want for you is for your flourishing and independence apart from them. In other words, they don't want you to win. They only want you to win in terms of if it's going to be a blessing to them. So in a narcissistic relationship, the exchange is always a win-lose situation. It's a sort of a bless me so that I am blessed. That's the mentality. Your reward as a child of a narcissistic parent is to be a blessing to them. That is your blessing, to be a blessing, not to be blessed. And that's an important distinction to make there. Your role is to be a blessing, and that is your reward. Now, if we think about that for a minute, if we have that sort of mentality going into the workplace as adults, well, no wonder people say to me, I work so hard, I put so much energy in, I honestly, I give 110% every day, but I get back so little. Well, here we have the programming, the subconscious programming that keeps you in that state of having to be a blessing for little in return. So in a narcissistic family system, it requires you to do or be whatever is needed to keep the system happy, to keep your job happy, to keep your boss happy, to serve them. You learn that this is the way, this is the exchange for getting your basic needs met. So you may find yourself in a job now, expending all this energy and just being able to make ends meet. Same situation, part of the pattern. Many narcissistic parents keep an extremely tight and limited budget for their children's needs. Was this you? Did you experience that there wasn't sort of a lot of spoiling going on, or you weren't lavished with, great gifts and made to feel, that no expense was too much? Often, these types of narcissistic parents keep you in poverty, or just about, because then you won't ask for more. and you will learn to be grateful for the minimum. And sometimes these parents can be behind the scenes saving up money for themselves instead of using it for their children. So you learn to work hard to please your narcissistic parent in return for poverty. That becomes your familiar. And this poverty spirit also manifests, though, in more affluent situations where the child is being spoiled, where you may have been given gifts in excess, but as a substitute for love. And as a result, you never felt you really deserved these gifts. They were just given all the time, and it kind of, you knew that you hadn't sort of really deserved them. It was more of a sense of something the parent was doing to please themselves, to, you know, alleviate their guilt perhaps, or to just keep you quiet, you know, just give them a gift. So it became sort of like your substitute for being loved. So in the first poverty situation, you know, where there's an extremely tight and limited budget, the belief there that emerges, the subconscious belief, is I don't deserve anything more than my basic needs, and I need to be a blessing to those who have control of money, and not expect anything much more. That's the familiar there. And in the second situation, you know, where you're being lavished and spoiled with lots of gifts, there's still this sense of I don't deserve this. I don't deserve I don't deserve all these large blessings because it's inappropriate. But also that, you know, this is all I deserve. I don't deserve connection. There's a poverty spirit there too. I don't deserve love. So today you might either find yourself in jobs where it is a win for the boss or the corporation, but a minimum gain for you. And as hard as you work, and no matter how much energy you put in, you still never get to live that life you dream of, the rich man's world. Let's be funny, because in your subconscious, you don't believe it is possible for you, nor that you deserve it. You see, what's happened here is poverty has become your identity. And that's why it's so hard to break free from. You're like, but this is who I am. Because this is, you know, when I formed my identity in childhood, this is what I knew myself to be and deserve. So it's a tough one to break this. Or you may find yourself in a well-paid job, but, you know, maybe not one that you really love. I mean, you're paid handsomely, and you find that you end up just settling for the money. It's kind of like almost like a substitute for all that you're really yearning for, which is connection to yourself and your calling and love. You may find yourself experiencing a poverty of love, real love, not the substitute. What's happened in both these cases is that the child internalizes or associates money with their narcissistic parent. So you may want to sit for a minute and just think to yourself, how is my relationship with money just like the relationship with my narcissistic parent? And if we say that your parent is the symbol of your relationship with money, you know, when you're in childhood, your parent is God. So many of my clients who come from a faith background have associated God with their narcissistic parent, and in that sense, with their abundance in life. And there can be a real sense of being shortchanged or being punished, or that even God wants them in poverty. He's keeping you in poverty, in other words. So what can we do? Well, like I said, it's really important to explore your beliefs about money and to see how they relate to your narcissistic parent. You might want to write down your financial journey and just to see the patterns, and then to be really clear on, strangely, how being in poverty may be a familiar, safe place for you, that your subconscious mind may be holding you back from that funny world of the rich man because it's unfamiliar. And then, of course, if you're able to come and work with me, we can do sessions on this using hypnotherapy. There's one in particular I love, which will uh, begin a conversation with your inner treasurer, as I like to refer to that part of you, um, so that we can understand and perhaps transform, give it a healthier role, a more abundant role in your life. If you'd like to work with me doing the course that I've put together specifically for people who've been through narcissistic abuse, please click on my Calendly link, free consultation, and we can get you shifting on so many levels. Don't delay. Your life depends on this. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christiana Davidson. Take care, everybody. Bye now.